Aries, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for August 29th through September 4th, 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link down below because the signs are different. All right, so Aries, very important week here in the astrology. Solar eclipse time. We got a solar eclipse here in your 5th house of self-expression. So the solar eclipse is like a new moon, but very transformative in the sense that it's involving the life path. And often during these times, our life path is changing, our life path is shifting. And for you this year, it's been this subtle energy of shifting more towards the self-expression. You know, it's the time to do this. It may even seem like prior to this year that there wasn't enough attention in this area. And so now's the time for the next year and a half, roughly, for you to do just that, to express yourself, to follow your interests, maybe get involved with hobbies, tap into your creative abilities. But all in all, just expressing yourself and doing things and connecting to things that you're passionate about, right? So with that, with the solar eclipse, this makes it a good time to allow the energies to die down a bit, especially leading up to the solar eclipse, because we'll be in the balsamic phase, to reflect and see what new intentions you can make that will cultivate this self-expression. Maybe for some of you it could be hobbies, for others it could be creative things, some of you romance, some of you children, spending time with your children or new children coming into your life. So whatever it is, set new intentions and challenge yourself with this solar eclipse. And the reason I say that is because it is forming a T-square. And it's the infamous T-square we've been hearing a lot about this year, which is Saturn squaring up to Neptune. All right, so this has been the one I've been talking about, having both patience, building things one step at a time, as well as detachment, willing to let go and surrender. So both of these qualities are going to be very important with this. And looking at the Saturn side of it, this has been the patience, persistence, and hard work to really build things that are meaningful to you in life. And that's been the 8th house, Saturn transiting here for about the past year, off and on. So, yeah, patience with this and seeing where you can build things in your life, but because they're meaningful, but because they're based on intimacy. It might even be in relationships. You know, oftentimes the 8th house is relationships, of having openness, trust, intimacy in them. Even healthy interdependency, healthy codependency if it has to do with resources and trust in that sense. Relying on others in a healthy sense. And even too, if you're seeing that there's any old patterns or any old bondages that you're indebted to or bonded to, Saturn might be helping you break those and really take the patient approach to doing that. And it takes time with Saturn. That's where the patience really comes in, but it's a great area to challenge yourself. And I think with the solar eclipse is particularly with how to express yourself and follow these interests or things you're creating in a way that is meaningful, right? That is a true expression of your deep self, of your open self, right? And that's the challenge of Scorpio and Leo. Very difficult energies to integrate. How do we integrate something so light and playful like Leo with something so serious and deep like Scorpio? But that's the challenge, and challenging yourself to do that can really go a long ways. Now, the Neptune side of it, especially with Saturn, uncertainty about some of these things we're building, right? And that's why it's been so important to have as much detachment, as much surrender and acceptance in this process this year of what we're building about future things, especially future things for you, because this is all in your 11th house of your aspirations, of your hopes and wishes, uncertainty about this. And if the mind tries to figure it out too much, there's confusion, there's doubt. So the key is to surrender, to live in the present moment as best as we can. And this might have to do with the future things, as well as anything you're involved with networks or group stuff. Okay, that can sometimes be manifesting with the 11th house. But whatever it is, this is the paradox between this opposition, is that with this self-expression, our ideals, our future things need us to be doing things that are in alignment with our self-expression, that we're passionate about, that we're interested in. And that's what makes this solar eclipse so important, to sit with it, to set these new intentions in order to cultivate this new type of self-expression. It's very new with the North Node, new type, and really just be willing to learn about it. Be willing to learn about this area of life. And simply through that, you'll find that there's an alignment, because that's the North Node. It's new, it's different, and having an openness to learn helps us align to that. All right, so that's the most important event this week, but we do also have Mercury going retrograde leading up to that solar eclipse. That solar eclipse will be on Thursday, September 1st. And as we approach that on Tuesday, Mercury is going to go stationary. All right, so this is involving a bit of a different area here. You've recently had Jupiter go into your 6th house. Mercury's going retrograde in your 6th. You got Venus here. The 6th house is about your work. It's about your routine. It's about your daily life and your personal development, if it's through your health, your diet, your regimens, these kinds of things. And so now Mercury retrograde is allowing you this opportunity to redo some of this, maybe rethinking it. All right, so with the pause on Tuesday, especially because we'll be in the balsamic phase, this sort of pause here and reflection on how you can redo this area of life, how you can redo your personal development, your work, your work, so that your craft is better, so things are more organized perhaps there in your life, and in your routine or whatever it might be. And you can learn a lot, especially just like the North Node here with Mercury retrograde, an openness to learn about it. But we can be on autopilot with Mercury retrograde, so bringing extra attention to the routine, to the things you normally do that now might just be happening automatically. So it's important to bring extra attention to make sure all the T's get crossed, the I's get dotted with that routine, so to speak. All right. And to kick off the week, actually, Mercury will be going retrograde over, this will be at the end of the week, over Friday. After his retrograde, he's going to go over Jupiter. And so Jupiter here has been helping you guys see potentials and possibilities with the work, with the routine, with the daily life. All right, so it's very nice to have Jupiter involved with all this, and you could be rethinking perhaps some of these potentials. See that the positive energy in your belief systems about your daily life, how important that is, and how it can be changed. It can be modified. We can see things differently. We can think about things differently. All right, so I think there will be a shift with that. And again, Venus, Mercury will be conjoining Venus at the beginning of the week, so you could be enjoying perhaps the routine, maybe even making connections at work for some of you with Venus in the 6th house. Okay, so that's the week in a nutshell. Most important thing is going to be that solar eclipse. It's a T-square. It's also trining Pluto, supporting transformation and change. I think there's a willingness collectively to make change, which is great. But challenging ourselves here to have openness in the process of your self-expression, building things that are meaningful to you in life, and expression of who you really are, as well as detachment, surrender, faith, willingness to live in the present moment with all this, and challenging ourselves there spiritually, all while reflecting and rethinking about this daily stuff for you. All right, so Aries, I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next week.